Meredith and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so excited that you found me, and if you're returning, I'm so grateful you've decided to come back and watch more. Welcome to Collectionmas 2023, where I do a different part of my luxury collection every day for 24 days through the month of December. That is mainly based around my luxury handbag collection, which is more than 400 luxury handbags, but we've also added in some other fun categories this year around luxury watches and scarves and skateboards. So if that's something that interests you, please hit that subscribe button down below. Hitting that subscribe button costs you absolutely nothing and means so much to me, so I hope you'll help me out. Today's video is focused around luxury handbags that are an interesting neutral. So that's a term I use often, and I will most certainly explain what that means to me. But first, let's do our housekeeping, which is today's shirt of the day, which says Little Miss Christmas, which is based on the Mr. Men series. And my, what do you call it? Headband. Oh, goodness me. My headband of the video comes from Pursetopia, who was kind enough to get these to me by way of Amelia from Amelia Rose's Closet. And she is over on Instagram. Now, I have worn this one already, but I can do a rewear on this one, I feel, because the sequins changed. So in the last video, they were on red. So I have now changed them all over to green, and we will put it on, which matches my green shirt. So that worked out nicely. There you go. So I'll wear my little headband for the duration of the video as well. All right, so let's talk about interesting neutrals. So I am not someone who has a lot of neutrals in their wardrobe, whether that be their clothes wardrobe, their shoe wardrobe, or their bag wardrobe. Neutrals don't make my heart sing. They're not something that I love. I will make the point that a neutral is specific to you. So there are neutrals that, generally speaking, we all recognize as being a neutral. So a brown or a beige, generally a black or a white. They're neutral colors. I understand that. But a neutral can also be specific to you. So in my wardrobe, pink is a neutral. It just is. Most of my wardrobe is pink or lends itself to going with something that is pink. Therefore, for me, pink is a neutral. Other people have wardrobes where green goes with everything and it's something that they love, so green is a neutral for them. Neutral can be anything you want it to be as long as it fits in your wardrobe and you can make it go with pretty much most things. Hence it becomes a neutral. But I understand for the broader community, generally speaking, a neutral is a beige or a brown or a black or a white or even a grey. A grey can be a neutral as well. So yes, neutrals exist. I don't have a lot of standard neutrals in my wardrobe. In fact, I have very, very few. But I love an interesting neutral. So an interesting neutral is something that can be considered a neutral, but it has a slight twist to it. There's something about it that makes it a little bit different, a little bit quirky, or a little bit interesting. Hence the term interesting neutral. So that's a term I've coined and I'm running with it for now. So these are handbags in my handbag wardrobe that I consider to be interesting neutrals, and I'll explain why. And I do have more than this, but I just pulled out 10, I think. All right, so the first one is the Never Full by Louis Vuitton. This is a brand, this is not long come out. So this is one of the newer, well, this is my newest Never Full, most certainly, but it's one of the newer bags in my collection. So you can see it's very neutral. It is not a raffia finish. It is a cotton weave, but it is a tight weave that is made to look like a natural fiber, even though it isn't a natural fiber. Although I suppose cotton's a natural fiber, but you get my point. It's not a raffia or a wicker or a grass. So then this has the white as the offset. So the thing that makes, so this is very much a neutral. This is about as neutral as I get in my wardrobe, but it's interesting because it has the LV pattern on it in the white. It's not in your face LV as the monogram is. They did this in a black as well, which is very in your face Louis Vuitton because the black against the natural material really pops. I went with the white because it's very much a neutral, but it's got that interesting aspect to it in that the monogram is stitched into it and the white is just a lovely offset to this. So while it is most certainly neutral, it is an interesting neutral because of this monogram pattern on it. They've done something that's a little bit different and a little bit of a twist. Now, yes, you would argue that that's not really different nor a twist for Louis Vuitton, but for a neutral handbag, it is. It's a little bit different. So that's my first interesting neutral. My second interesting neutral is my Birkin 25 in Barenia Forberg. This is such a neutral. Like at Hermes, everybody wants a gold on gold handbag, so this would be considered very much a neutral. This is not gold, this is Barenia Forberg, which was what makes it interesting. You don't know that until you get super close to it or you smell it, because it smells amazing. But it's got a slight twist to it. So Barenia Forberg is a heritage leather. It's a natural leather. It will patina over time. It scratches. If you have something on your hand, it will most certainly ruin it. So you do have to be a little bit careful with it, but it is a heritage leather. So it is not like the Epsom leather that you see, or even the Togo, which is much harder wearing, but is also much harder worked. So it's a much more treated leather than Barenia Forberg is. So that's where the interesting comes into this neutral, that it is a natural leather and it will change and patina, and it very much becomes your piece because it speaks your story, because as you leave it to sit or as you touch it or as you put marks on it, they all belong to you, which makes it much more interesting than just a standard brown gold handbag from Hermes. This is my Birkin 25 in ostrich in the color Blue Glacier. Blue Glacier. Let me say that again. So this is an interesting neutral also. So like I said, grays can very much be a neutral as well. This is actually Blue Glacier and it throws very gray on the screen, and it throws gray depending on the light it's in, but it also throws blue in some light. The ostrich also makes it a little bit different. So this is interesting in that because it's an ostrich, it has this dot pattern on it. So that makes it a little bit different. And the fact that it is color changing depending on the light makes it super interesting. So it can be different. It can go with a range of outfits. So if you wear something blue, this will absolutely throw blue. If you wear something that is gray or white or black, I feel like it's going to throw more gray than blue. So having something that shifts color is really handy in your wardrobe because you can wear it with a range of different things. But this is very much neutral in my wardrobe, and it's about as neutral as I ever get. And it's also very interesting. So it holds to the interesting neutral category. Ooh. So then we have this Lady Dior wicker, and I've got this wicker bag in several colors. I've in 4 colors. I picked up the white and the gold because I feel like it's the most neutral of all of them, but it's certainly an interesting bag. So it is very neutral in how it looks. So it is wicker, so it's a natural fiber, but it also has the Christian Dior in the gold on the white band, and it has white handles. So in terms of coloring, it is very neutral. It goes with a heap of stuff. But because it's got this metallic gold through it, and because of the style of this bag, it's got a pouch instead of the classic Lady Dior flap that goes on them. It's got this beautiful pouch. It does come with a guitar strap, which is in here somewhere. Oh, let's get it out. Oh, dust bag. So it does come with the guitar strap, which is in the same coloring. Not that I've ever used it. Oh, let's put it back in there. So those things make it a little bit interesting. It's got some flair to it. It's got a point of difference. It has aged gold hardware on it, and it's just a little bit different. So while it most certainly is a neutral and go with a range of outfits in anybody's wardrobe, it's still interesting. This one from Fendi. So this is a raffia bag from Fendi. I bought this as part of the raffia collection that they brought out, and it has gold metallic FFs all through it. So while some would say, well, metallic really isn't a neutral, isn't it? Isn't it? Doesn't it go with a lot of stuff? Wouldn't a gold metallic go with a lot of things in your wardrobe? Really? So I find this still to be quite a neutral, and I'm not someone who generally wears yellow gold. I wear a lot of white gold or platinum, but this goes with a whole heap of stuff, and I find this is a great evening bag for summer. So it's got that summer vibe with the raffia, but it's also got that gold through it, which gives it a real evening feel. And I love this bag. I think it's brilliant. I don't own a lot of this style, but these bucket bags for evening, I have one in silver as well, I feel like they really work. But this is very much an interesting neutral to me. So it's very neutral. It goes with an awful lot in my wardrobe, but it's still got a point of difference and something that's a little bit sparkly about it. This bag, I'm pretty sure this bag is where I started the term interesting neutral, because it is very, very neutral for my wardrobe, but it is very, very interesting. So this is a Chanel mini in rose gold, and it is metallic. It is absolutely metallic. You can see the shine run through it. This is, I feel like 17B. The collection was 17B. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Could be way wrong, but I think it's a 17B. And I bought this on the resale market because I hunted it down because other YouTubers had it and I loved it. I adore this bag. This is such a neutral in my wardrobe. It goes with everything, but it's rose gold and it's metallic. Like, how is that a neutral? It is such a neutral. I mean, it throws beige in some lights. It absolutely throws pink in others. It's metallic. It goes with so much. It's brilliant to travel with because it does go with so much. It's caviar leather. It's chevron. It's so, so beautiful, but such a neutral for me. And this is where I coined the term interesting neutral, because I think this is absolutely the epitome of a interesting neutral and I love it. All right. This was one of my wedding bags. So this is a Chanel Wok in white, but it is a pearlescent white. So look at the sheen on that. It's beautiful. It's almost holographic in its sheen. So I used this for my wedding, for the actual ceremony and the photos that I had done after, and then I switched bags for my evening to something which is not a neutral. It's very sparkly, but this for me is an interesting neutral. So it's a white, so it goes with so much because it's white. It's just a white wok. It's a white Chanel wok, but it's got this pearl finish to it, which makes it so interesting. It actually has quite a cool design on it as well. So it also has this bow detail, which is on the strap, which you don't see on woks generally, and that makes it a little bit more interesting. But you could even carry it as a clutch. Oh look, I've got band-aids in there. That's from my wedding. New shoes, carry band-aids. But this is absolutely an interesting neutral as far as I'm concerned, because you could wear it with so many things, but it still has that little point of difference to it. This bag, so this is a Louis Vuitton twist in the MM size, and it's in a raffia, so it's completely raffia. It's a beautiful, beautiful bag. It's very simple, and when you look at it like this, super simple. It's just got gold detail. It's got a gold top handle. Nothing about this screams interesting. It is just a standard raffia bag, except for the gold Louis Vuitton. There's nothing unusual about it. The thing they did in this that I found really unusual was they put black leather with it. So when we look at the strap for this, it's in black leather. So if you put the strap on it, you get this whole different bag and a whole different vibe. So if I do that, you now have black leather with a natural raffia, which you generally don't see, and it gives it much more of an edge to it. It's much edgier than just plain brown, which is what we would have expected. I expected when I opened it up it was going to be a tan leather inside, and then I saw the black, and that just made it so different for me. So the interesting thing about this is not obvious straight away, because if you're just carrying it like this, then it is very much just a plain neutral. But if you put the black strap with it, it becomes so much more interesting. So you actually have the option for this to be very neutral or to be an interesting neutral. So This is a Go 1-4 bag. It's in the mini size. I bought this in Paris while I was there. These are really expensive, but buying it in Paris and getting the VAT back as well made it cheaper. And I loved this color. It went really well with the dress I was wearing from Zimmermann that day. And I have photos over on my Instagram account if you want to see that. But this beige color that has like a purple ombre effect through it makes it so incredibly interesting and different. It's super puffy because it's a Go 1-4. It has the beautiful, beautiful chain on it. The chains on these are just stunning. And it's just a gorgeous bag. So I loved it in this size. I thought this color was phenomenal. And it is really an interesting neutral. This is also the epitome of interesting neutral. So it's such a neutral color. It will go with so many things in so many people's wardrobe, but that purple detail to it just gives it a little bit of an edge and a little bit of interest. So I love this. And then my last one is also a Dior handbag. So I bought this one in New York, and this is in like a tweed, in a very like peach, almost a nude color, but the hardware on this is all rose gold, which you do not see very often. Dior do not do a lot of rose gold, and it was the rose gold hardware that got me with this, because I went and saw it in store and I was like, no, I don't need another Caro bag, I'm not buying it. And then I slept on it and I dreamt about it, so I needed to go back and buy it. The rose gold hardware got me on this in the end, but it is very much a neutral. It is very simple in its color, but that rose gold hardware just makes it. It just changes the whole bag, and I love it. So when you do this and that, so you can see like the leather through it is very much a beige, but then suddenly you go into this rose gold hardware and it's just gorgeous. I love it. So it just gave it a little bit of a touch of interesting, which changes the whole bag. It changes the look of it. It makes it interesting. So it's an interesting neutral. So there are 10 bags from my collection which I consider to be interesting neutrals. Maybe you don't consider them to be very interesting. Maybe they're just neutrals, or maybe they're like just not worth the time to you. Maybe they don't speak to you, and that's fine. The great thing about luxury is that you should always be able to buy what you love and what makes your heart sing. So if you love browns and beiges and whites and just those classically neutral colors, go nuts. Go and buy what makes you happy, and if they make you happy, then I most certainly support you in buying those. If you don't love any of those things, if you love sparkles and bright colors and different designs and things that nobody else would ever consider buying, then you go buy them. They make you happy. Go and buy them with your money. These things are not cheap. Always spend the money on the things that are going to bring you the greatest joy. For me, I have a fantastic collection. I am so lucky to have the collection I have and be able to grow it in a way that I like. I have spent the last probably 3 years really honing in on what makes me happy, and I've stopped buying the things that I think I should buy, or that others think I should buy, and I really just buy what I love now. But I have absolutely come to a realization that I am never going to be someone who wants those beiges, who wants those browns, but there is certainly a place in my wardrobe for the interesting versions of those. For the things behind me that I deem to be an interesting neutral, these work fantastic. I love them so much, but I'm never going to want the gold on gold Birkin 25 that doesn't have any kind of difference to it. That's not me. That's not to say others shouldn't have it. That's just not what makes my heart sing. And if you're going to pay this amount of money for bags, if they're going to sit in your wardrobe, or you're going to carry them, or every time you see them, they should make your heart sing. They should bring you joy. You should smile when you look at them and think, oh my God, I love that so much. And if that means it is yellow with green sequins and a purple bow on it, then that's what's going to make your heart sing, then go nuts. I hope you get your bag. So I hope you found today's video a little bit interesting, and the different ways that you can look at neutrals. If you have liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. It means a lot to a content creator when you hit that subscribe button. Please also hit the little bell notification so you know when I've uploaded videos, which is usually 3 times a week, but at the moment it's every single day. I'll also throw up my Instagram handle for you so you can follow me over there. I put lots up in real time, lots around my collection and my day-to-day life, so please come follow me over there. I hope wherever you are in the world today, you are having a fabulous day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.